Come along with me and Ledge to Switzerland to compete in the World Para Grand Prix in Notwell. So one of the perks of guiding a VI athlete, especially when you're travelling, is getting fast track onto the plane and through security. Did a little bit of the editing of the Loughborough video when I had the time on the flight. And then it was picking up the hire car at the airport, bit of a soccer mum car, and then drove to the Airbnb where we were greeted by a little horse as the neighbour. So it was quickly changed and down to the track for a pre-meet and a bit of a warm-up. It was pouring down when we got there, so we found this tunnel beside the track just to do some of our drills, a bit of warming up. Here's Ledge thinking he's Conor McGregor on the walk back. So then we did brave the conditions and had a walk round to the track area and the little warm-up area behind the track. So it was basically 2 lanes just behind the track for the athletes to warm up. It's not too big for race day, but sometimes you've got to do that in international meets. So the pre-meet before race day the following day is really important to get the flight out of the legs after that travel. And make sure we're primed and ready to hit it for the next day. And here's the warm-up area just behind the track, and just about 20-30 feet to the right is the lake. It was pretty beautiful, and then it was onto some faster stuff.
I mean, that's a penalty.
So then after recovering from my wee fall, it was a pre-match meal cooked by James and Charlotte. It was some good cooking. And then on to the next morning, race day. Little pep talk from the horses, a little bit of breakfast, some eggs, spinach, and then off to the track. And there's loads of wheelchairs at this facility. It's also where they make the wheelchairs, all the carbon fibre and stuff. So I'll show it here. And then it was time to lock in. And then we were given sort of plenty of time on the track to do a couple of block starts, do some strides, not just one block start into the race. Something that I think some UK meets could take a lesson from.
Von Schodjew wird dort ins Rennen gehen. Von ihm habe ich keine Angaben. Also Bahn 1 Usbekistan. Er ist mit Jahrgang 2006 der jüngste in diesem Feld. Marcel 1993. James Ledger ebenfalls. Und Raya ebenfalls 1993. Alt, und das ist der Start. Marcel Böttcher, er müsste eigentlich der schnellste sein und er wird dieses Rennen auch gewinnen. Kosenkov immer noch sehr gut in Form, 11,36. Also vielleicht täuscht hier der Wind ein bisschen, vielleicht sogar noch ein bisschen Rückenwind. 11,36 ist eine starke Zeit.
So came second place in the T11 race with a 12:04, I believe. This is one of the tricky parts, getting guys with blindfolds to shake hands at the end of the race, but it's good to be in a race with other T11s. We don't get that opportunity many times. And here's another angle of the race, or the start of the race, that Charlotte took. And one thing, I don't really like making excuses, but the wind reading we were given was plus 1.0. And you can see from the flags here that they're definitely going as a crosswind, if anything slight headwind. So I think on reflection, when you look at the conditions, the time wasn't too bad. I think our initial thoughts were, oh no, that's a terrible run. But yeah, it was good to get these videos and then analyse afterwards. And it was back down to the track for day 2. We were all wearing red as a team, supporting Team Wales. And on day 2 we were really trying to implement what we learned from day 1. A couple of things, like we sort of went out of time and separated on the tether, so today was really trying to sort that out, putting on a bit more pressure and being patient in that drive phase.
Wir bitten Sie nicht, mit diesen aufblasbaren Bällen zu spielen, während dem Großzurennen. Das gefährlich und diese Bälle auf die Bahn spielen. Das könnte so unfällig sein. Mit den aufblasbaren Bällen zu spielen, während dem Großzurennen. Das gefährlich und diese Bälle auf die Bahn spielen. Das könnte so unfällig sein.
Wer bleibt die Bahn 8
So for the second day, the races are then seeded based on times of the first day, not necessarily in your same category. So there was another T11 pair, but then there was another 3 athletes from different categories. So James got an absolute ripper of a start there. He left me on the first couple of strides. I think this was a much better run. We still sort of separated a little bit, but definitely improvements from the day before. So here it was good to get the win. You see James celebrating here. It's good to win a race, and I think when we crossed the line it felt like a really good run. And then we were a bit shocked at that at 12:04, but on reflection it was a minus 1.8, so it sort of explains that. But then we went down, enjoyed ourselves, having a swim in the lake, and then went out for some Thai food, which was a really nice way to end the trip. And we did manage to squeeze a bit of sightseeing in Switzerland, did a cable car up a mountain just before our flight, which was good. The view up the top was insane, and there was supposed to be a toboggan run, but it was too wet to actually do it. So overall it was a really good weekend, just going abroad, staying somewhere, 2 days of racing, a little bit of exploring, swimming in the lakes, and a good competition, albeit the conditions were probably not what we were hoping. We learned a lot, I think, from the Friday's run to the Saturday's run. We improved a lot, even though the time was pretty much the same, but the wind seemed to be a lot stronger in the face on the second day. So a lot of things to consider. I think personally I never put the pressure on in that middle phase of the race, which is what we're hoping to do so in the next ones. We've got a little bit of time for a training block. I've got an individual race as well in between before me and Ledge are back on the tether, so load of time to keep building and looking forward to it. So as I said, I've got an individual race in between, so this time it's in Belgium, so another little trip away to Nivelles to compete in an EAP. A couple of the guys from the group are also going with me, so it should be a good weekend. Hopefully bring that 400 time down again, chasing that 47. Also like and subscribe to this little YouTube channel. Let's get it growing. And I'll just leave you with the highlight of the trip to close it out.